Question 6, the diagram illustrates all or part of the probability distributions of the discrete random variables v, w, x, y and z. One of these variables has the distribution GO a half, so geometric distribution with the probability of success being a half. State with a reason which variable this is. Now, the issue with this is the true answer here is actually none of these graphs show a geometric distribution with probability a half. There's one that they've made a slight mistake on, that if they hadn't made that mistake it would show it. And there's another one that they accepted as the correct answer, even though it doesn't really show a geometric distribution with probability a half. So what do you think? Which is the one that you think it should be?
Is it the top left, but they've got 0 trails on it?
That's exactly it. It's the top left is the correct answer. That's the right one. But the problem is that they had a printing error on that axis. It should have gone like that. Okay, because we've just said you can't have 0 trials in a geometric distribution because you have to have at least one trial in order to be successful. That one fits the geometric distribution because if p is a half, probability of x being 1 is a half, probability of x being 2 is a half times a half, and then you half it again, and then you half it again, so every time the probability is halving because the probability of success is a half. So that was the one that fitted it, except they've made this mistake and so it wasn't. So the answer to part 1 is V, and the reason is that the probability is halving. As V increases, and also the most likely outcome is the first trial. So there we go. So that's our reasoning for it being part 1. The exam board did accept. Well, which other one do you think they accepted as being the right answer, even though it's not really the right answer? But there was one particular reason why they allowed it. What do you think?
Would it be X? Because oh no, moving on. It's not going down by half each time, is it?
It's not. So they wouldn't have accepted X. What do you think?
Would it be Z? Because it looks like it doesn't have a 0.
That's it. It was Z. They accepted Z if you gave the reason. The probability of Z being 0 is 0. You can't have 0 results because that's true of a geometric distribution. The rest of it doesn't fit what would happen in that distribution. But the fact that the probability of 0 was 0 meant that you got away with it for that one. Part 2. One of these variables has the distribution binomial 4 trials, probability for success being a half. State with reasons which variable this is. Well, a binomial distribution with a probability of a half has a particular thing that happens in it, doesn't it? Because that means you're just as likely to be successful as to not be successful in each of the trials. So success and failure have the same probability. So the distribution would be symmetrical in that case, wouldn't it? What's the most likely outcome? If you're doing 4 trials and probability of success is a half, well, if you're flipping a coin, that basically mirrors that, doesn't it? If we're doing it 4 times, and we're counting the number of tails that we get, are we equally as likely to get all of those numbers? We're not, are we? You'd be quite surprised if you got 0 tails when you did it 4 times. That would be quite unusual. So the most likely is that you would expect to get 2. You'd expect to get 2 of each, wouldn't you? And so that's the distribution that we're looking for. It's Y that we think is binomial with parameters 4.5, and the reason is that it's symmetrical, with y equals 2 being the most likely outcome. So there we go. Okay. And that was it. That was 5 marks for that. And that's maths.